See, majority of our consumers are not well-to-do. So when you are not well-to-do, every rupee counts. Then you have to be cautious with that. The next type of thing is auction pricing. Where have you heard of an auction? Huh?
Bids.
अच्छा वो हाँ वो शो
इंटरनेशनल ऑप्शन पे
Bidding.
बिडिंग होता है. Where have you known of any place in India where it happens?
सर आईपीएल
स्टॉक
में।
मार्केट कभी मंडी जा चुके हो? मंडी में कभी
हाँ
गए हो?
सर।
हाँ,
भाजी
so if
मंडी
you हाँ bhaji mandi. So when you go to a bhaji mandi and when the farmer comes with his entire stock, they will all put various stock over there, and then people will go from one stock to the other and क्या दाम लगाओगे and क्या दाम लगाओगे and then there are multiple dealers who will come say ये इतना 25 रुपया किलो, 20 रुपया किलो, 22 रुपया किलो, and that's how the market price gets fixed. Market price fixed. So you have auction pricing for stuff like that, and usually auction pricing is done when all the buyers are able to come to one place. Now you know that in farming, all the harvest happens at a particular time, at a fixed time. So you can harvest everything and you can call all the buyers together at one time, which is very difficult. You can't have auction pricing in a supermarket. You can't get all the ladies to come over there at one time. You can't get all the men to come at one time. So in some places, administered pricing is good. In other places, auction pricing is better. And even if you look at the very stock market works as an auction. Because did I do that exercise with you on the board last time? No, I did it with the SAPM class. So if you see how a stock market works, there are basically, let me see if I have something to write. Okay. Okay, so there is a, you can see this on my thing. Very bad handwriting. Buy, and there is a sell. Okay. So what happens is there are various sellers in the market. So let us take the example of a stock. Joel, give me the name of any one stock. What is the price currently? Any stock in the market right now? Okay, so he's talking about IRCTC. So there is ITC. Okay, ITC is around 290. Now, what will happen? Suppose right now the stock price, the spot, so the SPO 218 क्या? So suppose the spot is currently at 218. All of you can see what I'm writing, right? Because I'm writing with the damn computer, it's coming so bad. So now there are people who own stocks. They have the ITC stock, and they'll say, no, आज का stock 218 rupees है, but I am willing to sell it if I get 230 rupees. Okay, so one person will put an order of 230. And he will say, I have 10 stocks. Okay. Another person will say, okay, I want to sell at 235 rupees and I have only around 3 stocks with me. Okay. Third person will say, I am willing to sell it at 255. Okay. And I have, say, 7 stocks with me. Now, these are the people who want to sell it. Imagine right now there are no buyers for the stock. There are only these people selling. And the seller says, अगर ये price में है तो मैं बेचने के लिए तैयार हूँ. Otherwise, I'm not ready. Now, right now you can see the difference between administered pricing and auction pricing. Administered pricing, the pricing is fixed. In this case, is the pricing fixed? Would you like it if you bought it for one price and the government says, नहीं आपको बेचना है तो ये price पे बेचना है? Will you be happy with it? No, they're not going to be happy with it. So that is why you require an auction kind of pricing in these type of markets where you decide what price you want to set. Okay. Now this is put up for auction and anyone in the world, okay, who has a demat account in India can then bid for this and buy these stocks. So what he will do is now he'll say my current price is 218. One fellow will say, okay, I want to put a price of 210 rupees. Okay. और मुझे 10 stock खरीदना है. Now he's saying, I don't mind buying it at 210 rupees. Is there anyone willing to sell at 210? Look at my chart. Is there anyone willing to sell at 210 rupees?
No. No, sir.
No.
Okay, so will the 230% sell it at 210? No. He's saying if I get about 230 only, then I will sell. So now, suppose another person, now this 210, suppose I put a request for buying 210, 10 stocks at 210 rupees. Then Pooja comes and says, you know what, I have heard ITC stock is going to go up. I better buy it. Okay. So what she'll come and says, I will put a request for 229. Okay. I will put 20 stocks. Now, is this transaction going to be, is this request going to be executed? Is Pooja's request going to be executed? She has put a request for 229. Will it happen?
No.
No, because her price is low and the selling price is high right now. So it's not going to happen. So what happens is her broker will come and tell, देखो मैडम 10 मिनट हो गए कि अभी तक कुछ हुआ नहीं है, क्या हो जाएगा, और बैठे जाओगे तो प्राइसेस और बढ़ भी सकता है, तो क्या कर लो, देन चीजें एक काम करो, थोड़ा बढ़ा के उठा लो. देन व्हाट यू से 230 पे 10 है, मैं 10 उठा लेता हूँ. So automatically he will put a new trade on Pooja's behalf, 230 for 10. Okay. So she now has immediately, this gets executed with this one. Okay. So these two are gone out of the market as such. Now you have these prices. Then the stock broker will call up and tell, if you want it, you can get it at 235. Okay. By then Nikita comes and says, hey, I'll do one thing. Even I want the stock, even I have it gone up. So Nikita will go to start saying, I want to buy 10 shares of at 235. So Nikita will put a trade 235 for 10 stocks. Okay. What is going to happen is immediately this will hit against this 3, but not all 10 stocks are there. Only 3 are there. So जाके 7 बचा रहेगा. Now there's going to be a kind of an auction between Nikita and Pooja, because Pooja also knows that somebody else is coming to the market. Immediately she will tell a buyer, अरे price बढ़ाओ, 255 भी चल जाएगा, 250 है ना, उठा लो उसे. So this is what is happening right now. This is an auction system. Means you have all the buyers are in one location. You all are deciding what should be the price as such. You all are fighting over the price, and real time you can see the changes. So this is real time auction pricing which is happening in the stock market. And the buyer with the highest bid, so whoever puts the highest amount will win those stocks. If you put a low bid, like for example 210, which Joel has put, he's not going to get that at all. Okay, the 229 which which Pooja put earlier, even that she's not going to get. So this is how an auction pricing is different from an administered pricing. Clear with everyone? Yes or no?
Yes.
Now the only disadvantage of an auction pricing is all buyers have to be there at one place. So if you see the stock markets open at 3 in the morning and they end at at 9 in the morning and they end at 3 in the afternoon, 3:30 in the afternoon, because they want everyone to be available for those 6.5 hours. At that time, no one should disturb, no one should leave, because if you are not in the market, the product is gone. Okay, so you got to be extra cautious over there. So it is a bit cumbersome, but needed in special cases. But the beauty is once you have a system in place, like you have a stock market in place, it becomes very efficient for anyone to work on it. You get the best prices. Then the third type is something that is called as mixed pricing. It is a mix of administered as well as auction pricing, and it is used for high commodity products, like something like an automobile or a house. You want to buy a house, you want to buy an automobile, there is no fixed price. You go there and you negotiate, you talk to them, and they'll give you a good deal if you can negotiate well. So I've given you 3 examples right now. I've given you administered pricing for supermarkets. I've given you auction for stock markets, and automobiles and houses for mixed pricing. I want you guys to come up and give me one example for each. Come on, guys who are online. Shruti, Preetam, Sandeep, Ajay, Akanksha. Give me examples. Jayashri, Shalu, Shravan. अच्छा Shravan, okay. Shravan का महीना. So Shravan Thakur.
Yes, sir.
Come on, tell me, give me one example. Any one of the 3.
Auction pricing, sir. Auction of bungalow.
Okay, yeah, that's an interesting one. Yes, they have. I've seen bungalow auctions also happening. Yes, good example. Thank you. You have
Auction
another one?
of land, property.
Auctions of land. MIDC does it. If you go to Maharashtra Industrial Development Corporation, they auction lands. Very nice. Superb, Shravan. Why are you so quiet? Otherwise, you have some good ideas.
Auction of IPL players.
Auction of IPL players. Who was this? Superb, Neetu. Very nice. Okay. Good example. Come on, who else? Who else? Who's this Utkarsh Sonavne? Okay, Utkarsha Sonavne. Utkarsha. Okay, Sonavne.
Yes, sir.
My. Yes. Give me an
The
example.
auction of art, painting.
Yes. So you see, it that comes in the special category as such because there's only one or two of these products, and you want all the buyers to come and bid for that. And the more buyers you have in one place, the higher price you can achieve. Beautiful example. Beautiful example. So all museums,
Sir,
all the yep.
NFTs.
NFTs also, yes, you have NFTs right now which are in the market, all going through auctions as such. Correct.
Sir, livestock selling.
Livestock, yes, you have cows, bulls, buffaloes, horses, camels, all of these traded. Whenever livestock is traded, it's usually traded in auctions. You look at, and most of these things are farm related. So anything farm, agriculture related usually goes by auction because it is difficult to give a fixed price. So you can't say that this bull is worth 1 lakh rupees. It's difficult. It all depends on the size of the bull.
So the antiques and artifacts.
That is already taken. Antiques and artifacts have already gone under art pieces as such. Yeah. अनम्यूट कर पहले. हाँ, okay, ठीक है.
A vintage car.
Vintage cars, yes, vintage cars come under auction. You were saying something, Joel?
Sir, so I have heard in cows and all in most of the rural areas, so they give cow an amount by the liters it.
Of milk it gives. Okay. Yeah. So now you'll have to go and milk the damn cow every day. Okay. ये तो कोई कुछ और भी बोल देगा. Okay. Old coins, yes. So anything special, rare, but that comes under antiques category, already taken. So I think everyone's got the idea of what these things mean as such, and what is administered auction and mixed pricing. We'll go to another type which is called as yield pricing. Has anyone come across this term before? Yield pricing? BMS students? BMS? Anyone online? Okay, so yield pricing is I am going to change my price based on what is the demand of my product. Okay, so yield pricing is normally used by aircraft companies as such, where they will change the prices based on how many seats are left. So you would have noticed that if you go to book a ticket, initially it'll be 1,500, 2,000, 2,500. As the seats start getting filled, you will notice the price has gone up to 4,000, 4,500. Train tickets maybe होता है? Train tickets are fixed. Acha, Rajdhani has yield pricing. Oh, wonderful, great. Okay, so they have yield pricing over there, and found in the airline industry, and I call this perfect poster child for capitalism. Means it is one of the best sort of pricing methodologies to ensure that products are given away smoothly. Because suppose there's a product which has no demand, then obviously I have to sell it at a discount to entice people to get it. And if some product is rare, then the price has to be higher because otherwise everybody will want it as such. Now, when I take yield pricing helps out in extraordinary situations. I'll give you we'll have a small little debate in class, okay? And you just have to understand, okay? Normally you have this yield pricing when demand is more than supply and you have high automation. Now, how many of you? I'm going to leave this. I want everyone to comment in the comment section as such down. Airlines have yield pricing. Railways have fixed pricing. Okay. Which of these two options would you prefer? If suppose you were railway minister, they appoint you as railway minister tomorrow, and the railway ministry, one of the IS officers comes over and says, "Sir, I think it's better we move like the airline industry and make it into yield pricing." You have to take a call whether to maintain fixed pricing or move to yield pricing. What are you going to do and why? So first thing is I want you to put your comments on what you think should be the pricing methodology. Is it yield or it is fixed pricing And if it is one of the two, then which one are you looking out for? So Nikita is saying fixed pricing. Okay. What about the others? If you want, you think a little, think for a half a minute or so. If you want to revise your answer, I'm okay with that. Fixed pricing, very nice. Okay.
So for which
Okay.
sector you asking for? Which sector? Airline or for the
No, you are
rail?
railway minister. If you are
Okay,
railway
railway.
minister, you have to decide. I want to continue fixed pricing or move to this pricing.
Okay.
Okay. Now, can someone give me justification for fixed pricing? Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'll justify. If I am a railway minister and I have to take a call upon it, so
Yeah.
I will decide fixed pricing because in our country like India, when the if I go for yield pricing, if somebody has to go somewhere urgently and the person takes the ticket on the spot, or if 2 3 days pehle, so that person may not afford it, so that is why I'll go for fixed pricing so that person is sure that the amount is this much.
Okay. Anybody else has a similar view, a different view, a counter view? Yep. Someone has
Sir,
raised the hand.
if
Sandeep?
railways shift to yield pricing ना,
Yep.
फिर for sure rights होंगे सर इंडिया में.
Riots हो जाएंगे. अच्छा. Okay. Sandeep, you raised your hand. Tell me.
I'm with Nikita because railway is something basic, the basic need of people, and
Okay.
airlines still in India because the major population is poor. It's a luxury thing for them, so the
Okay.
basic need
ठीक है.
should be lower.
Okay. Anyone in class here who feels yield pricing is required? Because everyone till now has only put fixed pricing. Someone who believes an alternative. So I'll give you a hypothetical situation. Okay, suppose I have come from Calcutta. Okay, and my family is based in Calcutta. I have come to Mumbai as such to work, and I just realized that my mother is not keeping well. Okay, and she's quite sick in the hospital, and she said, "Beta, return, acha, return, acha, return." Okay, and now I go first. I go to the railway station to book a ticket to come there, and then I realize that all the trains are booked because it's fixed pricing. Tickets are booked over there. Okay, so now then I go to the airport also, and then I have to catch a flight, which may be around 35 peak time. Mumbai Calcutta is 35,000. So I have to pay 35,000, take a flight, and then go to Calcutta. Okay, this is one option because obviously I want to see my mother. Even if I'm someone who's earning just 20,000 over here, I will not mind paying 35,000 to take a trip. Yes or no? Okay. Imagine if this was yield pricing. If this happened to be yield pricing, in the railways, the first tickets would be around 500 rupees. So those who have planned, the poor people who plan in advance, they will get their ticket at 500. So all of them have taken care of. Then there are some after 50% tickets are full, then next pricing is around 1,000 rupees. So those who are little mid planners, ठीक है अगले हफ्ते जाएंगे party के लिए all that, they will book it. Once the price reaches 4-5,000, okay, a lot of people will think यार ये अगला last 5 seats which are left. Everyone who had to casually go. See, suppose the prices were around 1,000 rupees fixed. You would have casual travelers booking until the last day also. Till the last day the seat is available, you will have anyone and everyone booking tickets. Even someone who does not need to go, but is going there purely for pleasure. Okay, there's no need to go. He's just going there for enjoyment or pleasure as such. But if you have yield pricing, these casual people, when they go to book the ticket, they will say, अरे ticket is 5,000 यार, 1,000 रुपए का ticket 5,000 में कौन जाएगा? छोड़ यहाँ पे नहीं जाते, कहीं और जाते. भाई गुजरात का प्लान बनाते हैं. चल इंदौर घूम के आते हैं. So what is going to happen is because of yield pricing, you are going to stop useless, unwanted people taking unwanted trips. And you will have those few seats left, which would have otherwise been full, which is now empty for someone to go in an emergency. So instead of paying 35,000 to go by flight, this person can pay 5,000 rupees and go by train. This is the benefit of yield pricing. What yield pricing does is, it ensures that unless you really want to do something, You shouldn't do it. If you keep everything at fixed pricing, you will always have shortage. Now, when you go to buy vegetables in the market, and if all the onions were priced at 30 rupees, or give me something which is very essential for any important occasion. Like suppose there is a
Garlic.
okay garlic, and give me something which is specific to an occasion, like
Tomato.
without which that occasion can't happen.
Salt.
Flowers.
Like okay, let's say that toran, na.
Flowers.
Okay,
Yeah.
suppose government says fixed price, you have to sell it only at 5 rupees. 5 rupees a kg. Let's assume, government says, nahin, ye log bahut, during peak time, they are, overpricing shit like this and all that. And everyone should have it, I think. And let us administer the prices. They cannot sell more than 5 rupees. Anyone selling more than 5 rupees a kg has to be booked by the police, put behind bars. Imagine that happens. Now, what will happen is, suppose you have a function at home. Now, the rich person in your village, what he will do? He say, अरे हर साल मैं तो 500 रुपए का तोरण लाता हूँ, अभी तो साला 5 रुपया हो गया, पूरा खरीद. Now, when you go, you're a small family, you want to buy something for your house, okay, शादी कल ही तय हुई है, अगले हफ्ते में ये करना है, you have to create the engagement and all that, and you require the toran for your house. You go to the market, say, अरे नहीं यार, पूरा तो उठा लिया वो, सेठ ने पूरा उठा लिया, 5 रुपए में था. Now, this happens everywhere wherever fixed pricing happens. So, unless you have a lot of supply, it's very difficult or it is bad to get into fixed pricing. It is very bad. You can try to meet your socialist needs by keeping the price in yield system very cheap for the start, but for the last 5 seats, increase the prices. So initially keep it very low. So if I just make a simple graph, initially keep the prices very low, very low. When you have the last few seats left, start taking it up. So that majority, 90% of the people get it in low price. 10% of the people, only if they need it, they will pay that high price. Because you need to have certain seats reserved for people in emergency. And this is what is meant by yield pricing. So, considering this new information, how many of you would prefer to change to yield pricing after this? Or you will stick with fixed pricing?
Sir, Hitesh have to say something.
Hi, go ahead, tell me.
Sir, I feel in railways, there should be two categories. Like
Yes,
the
tell.
trains which are moving interstate and the trains which are moving
Yes.
intrastate.
Okay.
So in the interstate trains, they should be fixed pricing, and the trains which are moving intrastate, there should be yield pricing.
Intrastate. Okay. And what is the purpose of this, making this distinction?
Like the local
Local
trains.
should be like fixed and the express and all should be pricing.
See, yeah, someone mentioned okay, local fixed and
Tatkal tickets.
local fixed. Okay. And if you look at
Local
Tatkal,
Local fixed.
see the problem with Tatkal is again the same. Tatkal opens at a fixed price, but a higher price, but a fixed price.
And also limited time.
And and what happens? There are bookies who will go and book up all the bloody tickets, and then they sell it in black to you. Okay. Now
Agent.
this will not happen. This will not happen if the tickets go in yield. Suppose there are 10 tickets in Tatkal, and the normal tickets are say 500 rupees. In Tatkal, they open up Tatkal, but the first ticket will go for 1,000. The second ticket will go to 2,000, third 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7, 8, 9. What happens? The agent also who's taking that ticket will now be scared. If I don't sell that last 2 tickets, then I'm going to be in big trouble because all that loss will be on me. I've paid 9,000 which I can't recover. And then he's not going to buy those last few tickets. Those tickets will remain idle for people who really, really want to go. And I would prefer to have one vacant seat on the train than to have someone who really wants to go and has to pay 35,000 for a plane ticket. Because if you had, imagine worst case scenario, suppose we lived in communist China, okay, or Soviet Russia, and you had this fixed pricing for the planes and the trains, for both. And this guy, when he goes to the plane station, he will realize even the plane tickets are full. See, right now we have a good option that at least, okay, not train, then I can go by flight and at least reach there. But tomorrow, if I go to the plane station and I realize no seats are available, don't you think if I want to see my mother who's not keeping well, I will do anything possible? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So this is why you require yield pricing in many areas as such. Okay, you can have your socialist agenda with low pricing initially, but there should be yield pricing at some point in the demand. Okay, so with this, let's go to the next point: dynamic pricing. So pricing which is based on the situation as such, and this you will normally see at any. It happens either because of time of the day, or it can happen because of the season. And can you give me an example when this happens? Dynamic pricing. It's very similar to yield pricing, but dynamic is more or less, yield is related to demand or how much supply is there. Dynamic pricing is usually based on the time of the day, the season. It's only time based as such. Where does this time based pricing happen?
Umbrellas during rainy season.
Umbrellas are equally expensive.
Like mangoes.
Vegetable vendors.
Okay,
At evening.
vegetable. Okay, yes, mangoes. You see that dynamic pricing in mangoes as such.
Then
Correct.
mango मेरा favorite है mango like
Okay. तुम्हारा फेवरेट कलर भी कौन सा है मैडम? वो भी बताओ. फेवरेट कार्टून, फेवरेट हीरो, सब कुछ बोलते जाओ ना. वेस्ट एवरीवन्स टाइम. तो yes,
क्या सर
okay, so you can say
एग्जांपल दिया मैंने तो not fair.
okay, okay, ठीक है, don't रो मत. Okay, and where was I? Dynamic pricing. Okay, mangoes is one. What else? Okay, Corona COVID का mask, ठीक है. Okay, once COVID ends, then you will see prices will crash for masks and all the sanitizers.
Sweaters.
अच्छा, खत्म नहीं हो रहा.
winter season.
Sweaters के लिए ठीक है, okay.
Sweater गद्दा चादर.
Sorry, what
Sir,
else?
onion ka price during rainy season.
Onion price during rainy season, okay. Yes, I will accept. It does not follow the normal
Raincoats and
auction.
umbrellas. Raincoats
So-
and umbrellas in rainy season.
No, see, I'll tell you. You buy. Do you get umbrellas at low prices in off season? Are you sure? Same price मिलता है. You don't get. तुम समर में भी जाओ, विंटर में भी जाओ, सेम प्राइस ही मिलने वाला है. उतना ही प्राइस में देगा.
Hotel prices.
Hotels. Oh, thank you, Mugdha. Right?
Sir,
Yes.
cooler and
Tourist
AC.
places. Tourism.
Wait, 1 second. So Mugdha gave the right answer. Okay, that was what I'd written even my.
Tourist
Amazing.
places.
I was looking out for hotel. So anything tourism related will have this type of dynamic pricing, where you have price of your rental cars. You want to go on rental cars, it's going to be very expensive. 4,000 rupees. It'll become during the season.
My
when you
voice
can get
is
it for
coming or not?
you can hear my voice? Huh? Not Bitcoin. He doesn't tweet on Bitcoin. He tweets on crypto. Okay, so but then see, that is not like, it's not a time-based thing as such. हाँ, तो मैं एग्जाम्पल मांग रहा हूँ डायनामिक प्राइसिंग का. ठीक है, तो कुछ भी अभी बोलते रहेगा. हाँ, यू बोल मून रन अराउंड द अर्थ, अर्थ गोज अराउंड सन. हाँ, ओके, फैक्ट है, मैं जानता हूँ, लेकिन व्हाट इज द रेलेवेंस राइट नाउ? तो उसकी बात करना. हाँ. So, thank you, Mugdha. Hotel is one of those things which I was looking out for. Movie tickets also. So, you remember movie tickets, anytime you go on a weekend, movie tickets are. So if you go on Eid to watch a movie, you will find all Salman Khan movies are extremely expensive at that time. So, and since they know that, and the reason they do it now is because they know all the Muslims are going to watch the movie. Okay, so that is why keep the prices high. So anyone wants to go watch a movie, they're going to be jacked and they have to pay for it. So this is the actually not only Muslims, everyone goes and watches these movies. So yeah. So dynamic pricing, I hope you all understood. Any questions? So I'll take you quickly through all of these. First was administered pricing, auction pricing, mixed pricing, yield pricing, and dynamic pricing. Okay, petrol is what?
Administered
वहां जाते हैं वो आखिर बूंद के लिए ज्यादा पैसा मांगते हैं क्या?
Dynamic.
Intermediate pricing.
बाल पहले काट के बराबर. And sorry, who you all said something?
Intermediate pricing comes under all those example: rent prices and petrol prices.
Intermediate pricing. What is intermediate pricing?
It will come under
As such, only we
administered.
only know dynamic pricing.
Yeah, what who's this one जो अपना खुद के फंडे बना के बेच रहे हैं? क्योंकि नोबेल प्राइज इन इकोनॉमिक्स है ये, हाँ? Who was that? सृष्टि कौन से अपने फंडे निकाल रही है बताओ? हाँ? इंटरवेंशन प्राइसिंग कुछ भी यार, क्या फूक रही है घर पे बैठे?
Solution.
Okay, so we come down to market interventions. Okay, so so this is what I told you about. In case like the government comes and says there are market caps, you're not gonna fix the price, and whenever there are market caps or any sort of intervention by the government or by an agency, these are called as market interventions. So the first one we'll understand is price caps. Next one is high taxation, and the third one is black markets. So price capping, you see that in medicines. Okay, so you'll see a lot of medicines having price caps. You can't cross more than a certain limit. You have high taxations. So in order to protect the local market, any product which comes from abroad, which can potentially damage the Indian economy, that has high taxes. Can someone give me an example for high taxes? नहीं, कौन सा? What?
Sir, liquor.
अच्छा, Srishti left?
हाँ sir, Sushi left. Latest news.
अरे यार, चलो, don't feel so sad. I
नहीं
just
सर
joking.
लगता है
वो एक कसम से कोई फोन करके बुलाओ उसको वापस. हाँ?
इतना हंसे ना हम लोग सर आपने किया ना कॉल है
अच्छा, okay. CR, call Srishti back. Coming back to high taxes. So give me an example. High taxes का. Liquor. So foreign liquor is very expensive because they want to protect Kingfisher and United Breweries. देखो, दारू, everyone's behind दारू. Okay, ठीक है, उसको कुछ हाथ नहीं लगा सकते. एरोप्लेन कुछ ज्यादा मॉडल्स के पीछे भाग रहा था, इसलिए he got into trouble. But otherwise, yes, most important, highest tax rate that is there in India is on automobiles. Yes, that is the reason why Tesla is not coming to India. Okay, so there is 110% tax on automobiles. Okay, so a car which you get, like any of these foreign cars, like like a Lamborghini, which is 2 crore in India, is actually worth only 1 crore, not even 1 crore, 90 lakhs. But by the time you pay taxes and come to India, it becomes 2.5 crore or something. So a lot of these governments are forcing Indian government to reduce the tax. But I somehow feel that in order to protect companies like Maruti, companies like Mahindra, Tata, Ashok Leyland, you need to have these high taxes because there are companies abroad who have automobile companies since the past 100 years, and they have technology and the know-how to make very cheap vehicles and good vehicles, and our industry will be destroyed. And if we destroy our industry, then we will not have jobs. And if we don't have jobs, then we will not have high growth rate. And if we don't have high growth rate, our this thing will be very, very low. Someone has raised the hand. Srishti is back. Woo! Acha, oh. Acha. Who's raised the hand, by the way? Yeah, Shruti, go ahead. श्रुति ना, तो मैंने श्रुति को तो बोला.
हो गया.
अच्छा, सृष्टि is back here. Srishti is back. I see her here. Srishti, are you there?
सर
अच्छा, बुरा तो नहीं माना ना तुमने?
नहीं सर बिल्कुल भी
नहीं, डोंट वरी यार, देखो मैं रिकॉर्ड कर रहा हूँ, लेकिन कोई देखता नहीं मेरे वीडियो.
आप थोड़े मस्ती मूड में हो.
तो क्या है? हाँ, और कैसा है ना, देखो ये जो एनसीबी ना, वो तेरा कौन, समीर पाटिल, नहीं कौन है वो, सनीर वानखड़े, हाँ, वो नहीं आएगा तुम्हारे पीछे. ओके, तो शाहरुख खान की बेटी नहीं है. ओके, Don't worry, अगर फूक भी रही है ना, no problem. Continue, but pay attention. Okay, so,
सर मैं वो सब नहीं करती.
अच्छा, okay, cocaine. वो ये सब फूक फूक सब लो लेवल
केमिकल वाला
तक.
मिलता है कोई सर में.
स्कूल में होती थी. ऐसा कुछ है नहीं, ठीक है. I don't know which paper तू भी पढ़ता है. No, see, allow below 10, if it is below 10 grams of any of different classes are there. So amongst this ganja vagare, if it is below 10 grams, then for legal, for self-use, it is not considered a major offense, but it is an offense nonetheless. Okay. And if you are above 10 grams, then it is considered as a major offense as such. So then the penalties are higher. And if it's more than 10 grams, then it is considered that you are a dealer because 10 के ऊपर कौन फूकता है. Okay. So obviously वो depends ना कितना है तुम्हारे पास. So
Sir, what are your
quantity
thoughts on
के हिसाब
weed legalization in India?
See, world over, it's being legalized, and there are things which are worse than weed. Yeah, cigarettes. See, the highest revenue generation for the government. I hope you know ITC is a bloody government
Sir,
company.
मेरे को
You
लगता
know
है
that.
ITC बुरा मान जाएगा if weed is legalized in India.
हाँ वही. See, the problem is right. The government runs ITC. The government earns revenue of around some. I think revenue on cigarettes. The tax on cigarette is some 200 or 300%. So the government makes a lot of money on cigarettes. If the moment weed is introduced, unless ITC jumps into the market and sells its own weed, it's going to lose a lot of revenue from the cigarette market. And the loss of revenue is what is preventing government not from legalizing. So it's not entirely a medical problem or a psychological problem. It is more of a revenue problem that the government is facing. And if the government cares so much about health of people, they should first ban cigarettes. Okay, a cigarette, nicotine is twice as addictive as cocaine. It is twice as addictive. It is more harmful than any of these products. It is far more harmful to an individual, to the world around. At least in cocaine, you're breathing it in your own nose, right? You use any of this, you're breathing it. When you smoke a cigarette, the smoke is going to everybody else also. There are passive smokers, you're injuring other people. But the government doesn't give a rat's ass. Okay? And it's not this government. Previous government also. Uske pehle bhi also. None of them care about us. They don't care. They only care about the money. So जब तक पैसे आएगा, they're very happy. They will continue all these things. They're not going to stop it. So marijuana will remain this one. And I don't feel any product should be banned because whenever you ban a product, you create a black market. So despite banning, I can go to 10 places in Palghar and pick up whatever you want. Okay, I can ask 10 people, out of 10, 5 will know where to get it from. So nothing ever ends because of banning something. It just goes underground, and what revenue the government is supposed to get, they don't get it as such. And because it is stigmatized and it is not used in the right manner, you have a lot of problems. You have children who will go and consume it without knowledge, without training, and they create more harm than they create good. So that is my take on any of these products. Any of these products. So yeah, coming back to market interventions. So we looked at what happens because of price capping, high taxes. We have seen black markets. These are all the issues which come up when you have government intervention. Okay. And as we have seen, see, you remember in the supply curve, what happens when the price of a product is reduced? Remember, supply curve is an upward sloping graph. When the price comes down, how many people, how many sellers are willing to sell in the market? More sellers are willing to sell, less sellers are willing to sell. And this is the problem. What happens whenever you have a price restriction, you are in the long term, you will have lesser and lesser people willing to stay in that market to supply the product. And that can lead to problems. So for example, if you have in the drug industry, if you have price restriction for a long period of time on certain important classes of drugs, okay, new classes of drugs, you will have less investment happening in that class of drugs. Because people will say, why should I invest money in that when I will get no returns? There is a restriction on the sale. So that is why people will reduce the amount of investment in it. So you have to be very cautious. But this is it's a two-sided sword, because on one hand, if the prices are high, people will die because people can't afford the drugs. When I say drugs, I mean medicines. They can't afford the medicines. And if the price is low, then industry will not participate. So you have to be very judicious, very smart in what you price it as such. And I think India has done a tremendous job. Here, I thank the government, all the governments which have come in the past and the current. they have done tremendous work when it comes to medical care for people. Despite being a rural country, they've done fairly good amount of work as such. So this is what I just said. Price restriction damages the industry in the long run due to reduced investments. And okay, does anyone know about the Fiat Padmini story? Do you know what is the Fiat Padmini? क्या यार? As I want to show you the photograph. ये गाड़ी, हाँ, तो Fiat Padmini, okay, हाँ, हाँ, पद्मिनी मॉडल का नंबर था. जिसे बोलते हैं ना मारुति जैन. मारुति किसका नाम है? कंपनी का नाम है. जैन किसका नाम है? कार का नाम है. टाटा सफारी, टाटा किसका नाम है? कंपनी. ओके, फिएट पद्मिनी, फिएट किसका नाम है? पद्मिनी किसका नाम है? Product. Yes, so this is the product. Now when Fiat Padmini was first introduced in India, there was a restriction on how many you can make and how many you can sell, at what price you can sell. Yes, same with Bajaj Chetak scooters. So if you wanted to buy a Chetak scooter, you had to pay that whatever, some 8,000 rupees, and you had to pay that upfront, and you will get one booking ticket. Okay, and that ticket will say your Fiat Chetak will come after 9 months. Sometimes 3 years. Kabhi you'll get a Chetak which says 3 years waiting. So you buy it now, you wait for 3 years. On 3 years later, you go there and you pick it up. Okay, so.
Sir, when you said 9 months, I thought of something.
Yeah, even after, if you do some can't like this, you have to wait 9 months, and then you have to pick up jo bhi nikalte afterwards. Okay. But this was the true. This used to really happen, and why this happened? Because the government had put restriction on the sale of these vehicles, how many you can manufacture, and the price at which you can put it. So because of that, nobody wanted to invest in India. They said, who will put a big 500 crore company and then you can sell only for 1.5 lakh? I'm not going to do it. So no one was interested in coming. That is market forces. That is market forces. But this is a government crackdown. So this is what used to happen, and very what do you call? Coincidentally, I happen to stay next to this company. My house is just next to it, at the gate. So I used to see in and out as such, and we were quite close to it. So Kurla. And so my road is called Premier Road. My road is Premier Road because of this. Sorry? नहीं अगर तुमको दहेज चाहिए ना गाड़ी, तो पहले सेट करने का एंगेजमेंट 3 साल पहले करने का, एंड देन आफ्टरवर्ड्स यू टेल दहेज में हमको चेतक गाड़ी चाहिए. एंड वो चिट्ठी पे जो डेट आएगा ना, वो डेट पे अपना तारीख का शादी रहेगा. Okay, I'm not promoting dowry, by the way. And yes, by the way, where were we? Achha, any of y'all getting married this year? Just asking.
Hitesh Verma.
Sorry.
क्यों रीता तेरे साथ हो रही है क्या? हाँ?
अभी एक बकरी देखी.
अच्छा. But seriously, anyone getting married this year? Because normally every year I've seen someone gets married. Either the first year or the second year, there's someone who gets married.
I don't know who will get married, but we already have a married girl in our class.
Yugandhara.
Kaun? Yugandhara. Oh, really? Wow, not bad, Yugandhara. First of all, congratulations to your husband, to yourself, and your family. And and thank them for allowing you to. Oh, only 1 month. हमको बुलाया भी नहीं शादी के लिए.
सर दिसंबर में हो गया ना, तभी तो कॉलेज भी नहीं स्टार्ट था.
मतलब MBA चालू हुआ और इसने शादी की?
नहीं एडमिशन के पहले शादी, 12-13 दिसंबर में शादी.
Oh,
और
अच्छा,
उसके
12
बाद में
दिसंबर है, फिर
एडमिशन
एडमिशन। अच्छा, उसके
एडमिशन तो
बाद
बाद में
एडमिशन
हुआ
लिया।
ना, 25 को
अच्छा
शायद,
चल तेरी फर्स्ट
25
ईयर
दिसंबर
एनिवर्सरी
को।
हम लोग सेलिब्रेट करेंगे कॉलेज में।
अच्छा, कितना दावरी देना पड़ा?
कुछ नहीं देना पड़ा सर।
दावरी how much? चेतक गाड़ी, चेतक गाड़ी
कुछ नहीं, कुछ नहीं।
या फिएट। अच्छा अच्छा, हाउ अनलकी फॉर द बॉय।
सर लेकिन मैं लकी हूँ
हाउ
ना।
अनलकी फॉर, वो लड़का बोलना
मुझे
चाहिए,
कुछ
ठीक है,
देना
हस्बैंड को
नहीं
एक बार
पड़ा
बुला लेंगे।
इसलिए।
हाँ, ओके ओके, ठीक है। चलो, गुड गुड फॉर यू, गुड फॉर यू, ऑल द बेस्ट। या हैव अ गुड मैरिड लाइफ, एंड डोंट वरी, थोड़े अप्स एंड डाउन्स होते हैं इन लाइफ में, यू शुड नॉट बी वरीड अबाउट इट, एंड इट्स ऑल पार्ट एंड पार्सल। आज में हस्बैंड से कितने पैसे लिए? फीस कौन भर रहा है वैसे? बाप भरेगी?
तो युगांतरा से डावरी ली है।
नहीं, हस्बैंड हस्बैंड।
एमबीए करने के लिए डावरी ली।
लेकिन बाद
नया
में
देश
उसको ही
बदल।
मिलने वाला है ना सर, मेरे को थोड़ी मिलने वाला है।
हाँ, क्या उसको मिलने
जब
वाला है?
जॉब पे
सर्टिफिकेट उसके
जाऊंगी
नाम?
तो।
अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा, वैसे ठीक है
हाँ।
ठीक है ठीक है, नॉट बैड, गुड गुड। ओके, सो tell me, I have a few questions for all of you all. Name a few reasons that will increase the demand for vada pav. Yeah, any few
सर
reasons,
ठंडी का
whatever comes
सीजन,
up.
गरम गरम वड़ा पाव।
Yes, ठंडी का ठंडी का
मानसून सीजन, मानसून सीजन।
okay fine, ठीक है, monsoon ठंडी में, okay fine, I'll accept. Okay, because you know I ये नीतू ना दिल की बात बताती है, दिल की बात, दिल की बात। ओके,
सर
क्या प्राइस?
आलू का अगर प्राइस कम हो गया तो भी डिमांड बढ़ सकता
अच्छा
है ना, मतलब
The
सस्ता कर
most
देंगे तो।
affordable thing to eat.
अच्छा, what else, what else? So now if tell me something, if your income increases, हाँ,
इंक्रीज
unmute
इन
unmute,
प्राइस ऑफ पोटैटो।
अगर पोटैटो का भाव बढ़ेगा तो तेरा डिमांड भी बढ़ने वाला है क्या? है, ठीक है, 500 किलो, 500 रुपए का वड़ा पाव खाएगी?
नहीं सर, लेकिन
वड़ा पाव
हाँ
वड़ा पाव का प्राइस तो कम
फीलिंग,
हो
वड़ा
सकता है
पाव
ना।
इज फीलिंग, कोई भी खाएगा।
सर
हाँ,
अगर मतलब मोदी जी जैसा बड़े लोगों ने बोल दिया कि उसमें कुछ आयुर्वेदिक गुण है तो बढ़ जाएगा।
बराबर।
okay, yeah, but I agree. Now suppose it is found out that batata, oh, हाँ,
If Patanjali starts
कोरोना
making
चला
vada
जाता
pav,
है,
it will
ओके।
be
हर्बल वड़ा पाव।
हाँ, तो हर्बल वड़ा पाव अगर आ गया,
पतंजलि वड़ा पाव।
then there is a good chance that the
पतंजलि,
demand will
रामदेव
increase.
बाबा
Okay.
की जगह ले लेंगे।
कोरोना वायरस का इलाज
Okay,
वड़ा
so
पाव।
okay, but I'm just saying, in case there is a positive health benefit, then definitely there will be a demand increase in vada pav. If there is a reduction in the price of raw materials and the price reduces, then there will be an increase in vada pav. So basically, if the price, either price goes down or there is some positive effect related to it, then I can expect my vada pav prices to, sorry, vada pav demand to increase. Okay. Now, next question is, what will happen to the supply curve if the government bans import of foreign textile? What will happen to the supply curve, okay, in India if the government bans the import of foreign textile? Now think. Demand will remain the same.
सप्लाई कम हो जाएगा।
Supply, yes, supply will reduce. So what will happen to the pricing as such?
प्राइस बढ़ जाएगा।
बढ़ेगा,
will
प्राइस
increase.
Price will increase.
Okay, one second. Okay, so very nice.
लाइट नहीं है।
नहीं लाइट है, मैंने मेन स्विच ही बंद करके रखा था, कॉलेज में हूँ, कॉलेज में बैकअप भी है। सो आई फॉरगॉटन टू कीप इट ऑन, इसकी वजह से तकलीफ है। एंड ठीक है, सो आई एक्सेप्ट बोथ दीज आंसर्स एज सच दैट योर सप्लाई कर्व विल मूव इन अ डायरेक्शन सच दैट देयर विल बी what do you call, you will have price increase and then you will have more people willing to supply it only if the price increases, and so on and so forth. So Okay, now I want one. I don't know how you guys get. You're traveling out to the market and stuff like that.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So what I want you guys to do is now we won't form teams as such. I want you guys to visit any market on Sunday, okay, and select two products or two categories of product. When I say product means it can be an item, like not Parleji is a product. If I say category, it means biscuit, or it can be bhendi, or it can be dress material. Okay, anything as such, you have to decide. Figure out its price increase, price fall. Start figuring that out. Okay, so you have to go there, ask the shopkeeper कि sir इसका price कब बढ़ता है कब घटता है. Some of you who have your own businesses, I want you to go to your own business, start writing down, ask your father, ask your mother, ask the manager in the shop, ask the storekeeper, whoever it is. Tell them what are the conditions that happen over here. When does the price increase? When does it fall? When are the raw materials expensive? When are the raw materials cheap? Create one small dossier, okay, or a small case, writing down what you have observed. Is this seasonal? Is it daily, weekly, monthly? Is it based on any kind of weather? What are the conditions due to which the prices will increase, decrease, or the demand will increase and decrease? And see if you can predict or make a chart out of it. Okay. So this assignment, I want everyone to do it, and you should always look at this. So whether it is cyclic, annual, monthly, catastrophe. Catastrophe means like now there is a COVID catastrophe happening. That is why masks and sanitizers are going up. So is it something of this sort as such? Is it cross product? Means is it like diesel, petrol? If one goes up, other has to have, it has an influence on something else as such. And we will present this findings in our next class between 11:30 to 12:30. Someone has to remind me, CR of the classes. Shetty and Nikita, you guys have to remind me that we do this small little field activity in the next class. Okay? Alles good? Sorry? Chalo. And with this, I like to ask anyone has any questions, any doubts you want me to clarify? We have
In group.
I thought of doing it in a group, but I don't mind if you guys do it individually as such. So
Sir,
I
नहीं
want
नहीं group
individually.
group. Sir two group is
It's not a big task. And see what happens when you go in a group, what benefits here. I understand if it is something which has to be broken down, and it's a large activity as such. You know, I'll allow a group. See, I'll allow a group if you go to 4 different markets and you get information of the same category of product from 4 different individuals. So you go to 4 different shops at 4 different locations. Like one goes to Kelve, one goes to Boisar, one goes to Dahanu, and from there you go and ask the products as such. Same product you ask in 4 different places. Gather the information and come back and tell me. Then I'll allow a group. But if you want to do it individually,
No, sir, single is okay.
one shop is okay. I'll leave it open to you guys. You want to make a group. If you have a group of 2, I want 2 markets to be covered. You want a group of 4, I want 4 markets to be covered. Okay. And don't, when I ask for details, remember anytime you do research, you need to have the name of the organization, the shop. You need to have photographic evidence. You need to have the phone numbers of that person. So I will cross check and verify. Okay. So no cheating in this particular field activity. So yeah, clear to everyone?
And go in DMart, Big Bazaar and all. Like
You
rather
can
going
you
to
can
small stores.
see you can do that also. You can go to DMart Big Bazaar, but there you'll have to talk to the manager or you'll have to talk to the supervisor over there and get some nice insights from
Sir,
them.
what if
So
in the case of vegetable vendors?
that is also nice. Go to the vegetable vendor, ask them now what do you sell, what items come, what prices you get them at. Beautiful. If you can get vegetable vendors, it'll be amazing.
Hmm.
Okay. We had one more team who was supposed to present today, but I think we are short of time. So what we'll do is we'll keep it for the next lecture. Who's the second team? Are you all here? Aja, one is here. And your rest of your team? है क्या सब लोग?
हाँ सर.
Jidnyasa, Sandesh, Anjali, yes, they are all there.
Acha, okay. ठीक है. So you all guys prepare for next lecture. I may have a lecture on Sunday. If I have a lecture on Sunday, then it will be something on quality management as such. or it will be on PowerPoint, how to use PowerPoint as such. One thing which I don't know, the previous team, when you all presented, did you all use Fade by any chance? Animations?
Yes, sir.
No? Okay. And secondly, see, I'll just tell you what I graded you guys. Give me a second. Sandesh has a question. You raised your hand.
No, sir.
Okay.
संदेश हाथ नीचे.
Yeah, it's again up. अभी पूरा जैसे no. Okay. Um, where is my? There it is. Okay. So
So, can you disclose the list of all the students
I
for the
will. I will.
topics?
I just remind me after this lecture. I'll put it up. Okay. So I'll put it up on the group in on Google Classroom in a few minutes. And I'll just tell you where you guys, the first group went wrong, what they did wrong, what they did right. So now in terms of your spread of content, it was really nice. I liked how you all went across various topics. You had a wonderful index as such, and you all took GDP right from definition to how different countries view GDP. You spoke about various areas. That was very nice. Lithia messed up in the end as such because there was too much of content which was little irrelevant. You could have spoken about so many things related to GDP also, which you all missed out. One of the areas which you all missed out was Gini coefficient, and I was expecting that, but no problem. Second, when I look at tools, so this is related to content. When I look at the tools area, you have used only PowerPoint, and in PowerPoint you have used only the basic. You've just used the slide with one basic design behind it. No multicolors, no photographs. Few graphs were there in some places. There is no animation. There is no video. There is no music. There is no audio. There are so many things missing over here. Okay, and I feel on that front we could have done little better. Then when it comes to verbal, Jyoti, verbal communication, all three of you all, I put Lithia, Pratik, and Monica. You have been ranked almost equally. Jyoti, you need to improve on your speech. So for that, you need to talk more regular in class. Okay, if you remain quiet, you are not going to improve upon this. So you have to be more little active. If you have an idea, please participate, talk in class. Remaining silent, this more will not going to increase. And unfortunately, I was expecting all of you all to have your cameras on. Whenever you have a presentation, you got to be really well dressed, well suited as such, which you all were not. And that was a bit of a disappointment as such. So for the next batch, these are the areas which I'm going to judge you on. Content, the tools you're using, verbal and non-verbal. Let me see if I have a small little example for you guys. I will just uh, give me a sec. Okay. Okay, I'm having a problem with the audio right now. It's unable to start. But you can create a nice presentation with audio, with little video and stuff over there. Use some graphs. I like that you all have used little graphs over there, but make it a little more presentable, little more attractive as such for students. You have 15-20 minutes, so make the best of it. All right, that's the advice I have for all of you. I will see you guys on Sunday or directly on next Friday. So have a great weekend. Enjoy yourselves. Study hard. Okay, bye bye. See ya.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Give mornings attend.
You are person only.